Welcome back, everyone. Day 2 of my local tournament. Recap here again. Just a quick reminder of the rules. 4 games every day, 50 plus 10. 10-second increment with 50 minutes total. And since this is the second day, I've already finished 4 games before this. 3 points out of 4 games, 3 wins, 1 loss. Decent. And then, so I entered today's tournament hoping to score 6 points out of 8 games. And let's see if we can successfully reach this goal. What you're looking at right now is game 5. I played white this game. Let's flip the board and let's dive immediately in. So this game, finally, after I started with my English opening, my opponent stopped playing e6. For some reason, they really loved this line. Went for c5 this time. We developed everything is main line, actually. And then here, e6, there, everything is still theory. Bishop g2, and then here he played bishop b4. Not exactly a wrong move, but not the top engine move. So I know my opponent is out of preparation. Here I short castle. And then again, he surprised me with bishop c3. This is the second time in the tournament that my opponent decided to trade off a bishop for a knight for literally no reason. Of course, I'm glad that he made such a mistake. That means I'm gonna get good, decent chances of winning this game soon. Here, he made further mistakes, h6, and the reason of which is that this move is way too slow. I give credit to him for stopping this threat, and going bishop g5 and exchanging the bishop for the knight in order to attack the center pawn is actually a very common strategy used in these English openings where there's exceptional pressure on the d5 square. He went h6, but this is a mistake in this position. The reason is this king. Well, the idea here would be to play bishop a3, stop him from castling in the future, and it's going to be pretty much disaster for him. Now, I traded off the knight because after bishop a3 in this position, he had knight e7. And apparently, here the plan is just to take, and here, and after takes, we're just up a pawn. This is the engine provided line. But I thought keeping his king in the center and attacking it might be more concrete, so I went for takes. After takes, we played bishop a3. The purpose, of course, is to cut off the king. And here I was considering, I think he might play queen a5 or queen c7. If queen a5, we just play bishop b4, so queen c7. Then perhaps we might take, perhaps. I did not calculate this carefully. And then after he take with one of the pieces, we might further go like this or something, use the diagonal and attack. But things did not go this way. He did not came up with the idea of going queen c7 and preparing for c5. Rather, he went for bishop b7. Now, I immediately sense that the position is going off a bit bad for him, so I went for c takes d5, opening the center, preparing for c4, breaking again. He went knight d5, and that's when I knew something was wrong here. I spent literally 15 minutes on this move, trying to calculate the lines out, and actually exactly what I calculated happened in the game, which is c4, knight b6, queen b3, the threat here is c5, of course he cannot allow this skewer, queen c7, rook fd1, and then I thought, I literally don't know what my opponent is going to play, and I come up with the incorrect idea of going f6 for my opponent defense, and then I thought rook a b1, bishop a6, and here queen f3, the idea is to attack both c6 and h5 simultaneously, and after rook c8, we play queen h5, queen f7, and here the brilliant move, bishop c6, sacrificing the bishop, the idea after which is to go like this, and then win the queen. This position, of course, is hopeless for black because of the multiple threats of and the weak king. This is simply over. Now, in fact, exactly this sequence happened in the game. Everything happened as I calculated, but apparently there was a better move here. I believe, let me check, the engine provided the move rook d6, or perhaps it's the next round. Yeah, rook d6 works. Also, bishop d6 and queen d7, c5, just keeping a nice grip on the position, and he is very much busted. This position is so hard to play with black, but I wanted something concrete, so I didn't go for this. And apparently here, after bishop a6, rook d6 is also possible. And yeah, actually this looked kinda obvious, but I did not want to go into details like this. Apparently rook c6, here, rook c7. What about this? If that, rook b6 takes, and then there, we're up a bishop, and the king is suffering. One of those pieces are also going to fall, so huge advantage for me. Either way, we won, and in fashion, 19 moves, sacrificed the bishop, about to sacrifice the rook, but unsuccessful. My opponent straight up resigned here, and game 1 was victory for me. I was pretty invigorated. Normally, I would have a bad day 2 because my strength run out, but luckily, I managed to keep on playing good games, day 2. Now, the next game, I'm playing black here. Let's close the engine. And here we played the French defense, and in a few moves we entered the win of our variation, advanced variation, and he legit chose the most exciting line, queen c7, and then here he played bishop d2. Actually, just for fun, let me show you the engine line provided here. I actually prepared up to like 20 moves deep, perhaps even more for some lines. It looks like this, which is absolutely chaotic. I think the move here is this there, push here, and straight up sacrificing the pawn. Ironically, the position has equal material, which is just funny. And the idea is we're going to develop the bishop, we're going to long castle, use the weak king, use the g-file, and attack. Very imbalanced, I love this line. Unfortunately, he did not go for this line. I was a bit disappointed when he played bishop d2, but I came up with the correct move, c takes, queen c2, queen g7, rook g8, queen h6, and then knight bc6. Everything is still correct up to this point. Knight f3, queen e4 still correct, bishop e3, and then I made a mistake. Queen g6. Apparently, straight up after queen g6, rook g6, he is just better. I cannot fully comprehend that, but I did realize that there are some holes in my position that does not look very pleasant because we don't have the dark squared bishop. But he did not take, he went for queen h3, knight f5. Okay, I guess not the best. We traded, I guess he thought he needed some support on this pawn, so he did not move the bishop away. We just traded. Bishop d7, developed knight d2, a bit slow. Rook c8, g3, queen g5, rook c3, king e7. Looks like a strange move, but I'm connecting the two rooks, and guess what? I'm setting up a trap here, and he directly falled into this trap. After bishop e2, I played knight d4, sacrificing the knight to only move the position to get the advantage. And the reason is that if you go for rook c8, we will be taking on e3, threatening checkmate. And only move here, queen h4, rook g5, protecting the king. Of course, again, only move, and then after king d1, escaping the checkmate, because there's literally no way to defend it. King there, king d1. Not this, because we will lose control of this rook. Rather, we take the bishop on c8, and this position is just 2 pawns up for me. But even more exciting is the fact that after bishop b5, we have queen takes, and then knight f3, winning another pawn after rook e5. Up 3 pawns, and I managed to calculate the entire thing in 5 minutes and smashed knight d4 onto the board. He went rook d3, and I knew I was absolutely winning here. After rook b1, after rook b1, I could have gone bishop a6, kept the pressure, and then perhaps gone here. This would, of course, be more winning in a way, rook c3 also. But I just thought, play it simple, I could win this position, but little did I know. The position is actually far more complex than what I thought, because after king f8, everything is still correct. Everything is still correct. Rook c3, not the best, but the threat is there, still winning for me. Rook f4, h5, still not the best, still winning for me. And then after e4, we traded queens, knight f3. I literally have no idea why I didn't see this move. Like, I don't understand. This move just didn't even pass my brain. 3, rook back, takes, there. Here I had 4 minutes, and I stopped recording the moves down, so the rest of the game came from my memory. Rook d5, there, up, knight back. Here we traded the rooks. He did not trade. I got the pawn, and then in a few moves, this is what the position looks like. Unfortunately, it's never easy to deal with the knight, and here I blundered. I blundered king d6, because after this, rook d5, it actually looks as if I am losing, because if I take here, he's gonna just fork me. Luckily, I still have rook b2 left in my pocket. And of course, also rook a5, I think that still works. Rook b2, same thing. Oh, actually, there's knight c3. Neither of us saw this for some reason. That's really lucky from me. But okay, he did not see this. Rook h5, takes. And this is what I've got to work with. Rook f5, king g4. I have zero idea why I played rook f6. The natural move would have been to go there. I don't know. My brain is just not functioning properly. h4, a5, h5, and that's all I can remember. And I could tell you that I won because my pawns are faster, I've got an extra pawn, but unfortunately that is not real. Somehow I managed to lose in the end. I could not remember fully how. I just recalled that his pawn suddenly got dangerously close. When I dropped my rook back, I forgot to bring it to behind the pawns. I just kept the rook like at the side of the pawns, and then his rook managed to reroute over here. He occupied the h2 square, and that's kind of disaster for me. In the end, I did not want to draw because I thought this was an easily won game for me, but unfortunately, with 30 seconds left, I actually managed to blunder into a losing position in the end. This was really devastating. I was so sad after this happened. Game 6 is just devastating, really a pain, but I've got to live with it. I just imagine that I drew this game, and then I drew the game 4, because this kind of makes up for game 4. I should have won that game as well. So, yeah. That kind of balanced my mindset, and unfortunately, my brain cells did not crack. I came back to game 7 after a quick nap in the noon. Now this game, I can tell you beforehand, I won, and this is perhaps the best game of the entire competition. It's just literally one-way game. I did not even make one single mistake in this game. Everything is around top engine move. So just enjoy it. I will be playing it through, explaining my thoughts. Enjoy a beautiful game from the white side. So the English opening, finally the King's English. Everything more normal. Credit to my opponent again for spotting h6 in time. Not easy move. You've got some positional understanding. Short castles, d6, a3, everything normal. Bishop e6 is poor positional understanding. You've got to keep the bishop back there, protecting this pawn. And in fact, this square should belong to the rook. Not exactly belong. This square should be open for the rook to push further. So here, e3, still everything prepared. d5, I thought this was not perfectly correct. After b4, bishop e7, I was considering this. And the line here would be to go like this: takes, 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 bishop takes there, captures, queen takes, rook b8 perhaps. Then I would go here. I do not know how to evaluate this position. I'm up a pawn, but this bishop is suffering so much. So let's take a quick look. I think in the future I could push, like I could go e4 and then like this. Yeah, this is better for me. But what about rook a d8 here? I also consider this a possibility. Apparently, dropping back, takes, rook here, bishop e2. Oh, the knight is being attacked. Okay, I see. But wait, where did he go wrong in this line? Knight c4. Oh, then bishop c4 is the mistake. Unfortunately, I did not calculate clearly enough. I just went for takes. This is also one of the best engine moves. In fact, I think it's the best. Yes, it's slightly better than the other choices, including b5. Okay, so after bishop e7, c takes d5. He takes back bishop e2, everything top engine, a6 too slow here. And the reason for not taking this, which would be a mistake, is that after takes, here, he had this move. So of course I did not fall for this, but I guess he missed that there is e4 in this position, and then I would win this pawn. Knight d4 from my opponent, best move. Takes, knight back here, queen c2, stopping his idea of going here. Oh, not going there. Going bishop h3 because the c7 pawn is hanging. He went rook a c8, preparing for c5, so I played d4 to stop it. Bishop g4 from my opponent because I'm also threatening d5. Perhaps he could have played c6 here, which would have been better. Bishop g4, boop, and then we got the bishop. And the position, again, opposite colored bishops. But if you watched yesterday's recap, something you should have already picked up is that opposite colored bishops benefits the attacking side. And in this case, I've got an extra pawn. My pieces are more active, my bishop is better, so overall I am the attacking side. I would love to exert some pressure on this pawn, perhaps over here as well, and then I would love to use the center pawns to create a passed pawn somehow in the center. That's the game plan. And this is actually really hard to evaluate during the game. I thought this position is close to equal small h for me, but in reality this is actually +2 according to Stockfish, which is surprising. Here again, best move, c6, rook a b1, one of the best, rook f d8, queen b3, one of the best, rook d7, rook d3, doubling rooks, just everything slow and concrete. Here he played queen h5. Queen c4, the best move, bishop f8, and then I decided to go create some havoc out of the position. I played a4. The idea here would be to play b5 sometime in the future, and here he played queen g6, relinquishing the control of the b5 square, and I initiated a nice little sequence. Bishop h3, when his rook moved up, I pushed, his rook moved up, I came back, and you see I basically got a free move. I got a free e5 move, and the e5 pawn simultaneously is also not hanging. That means I could push my pawn right now if I needed. Thereby, I played the move b5. Undermining the c6 pawn, my bishop is targeting the c6 pawn, my pawn, my queen, everything is targeting the c6 pawn. This means that he must capture, and after captures, the pawn is again targeted, and then here he played c5. Allowing d5, after queen f5, I protected with f4, still top engine, b6, bishop e4, chasing away the queen, bringing the bishop to a better spot, protecting the d3 square. After queen h3, e6, f takes, d takes, and unfortunately, here we've got threat. This. If he had played rook d3, we would have played this. He would need to go there, and after takes, promoting to a queen, he should take, I should take, and actually this position is just purely over. There's no way to protect the f8 bishop. So d takes e6, rook d4, takes, g6, e7, and my opponent resigned. No mistakes for me entirely. Absolutely beautiful game. So let's move on. Game 4. Game 4, unfortunately, was not a long game, and it was not a fun game either. I am playing from black, and this game, just the calm opening, just everything normal. We both achieved our setups. I traded off the bishop, small win for me. I also managed to play e5 and got an open position. But here, there's just not really much to play for. If my opponent does not want to create some does not want to create some counterplay like this on my f7 square, there's literally 0 life out of this position. So we just play, still always equal, queen c7, still equal, takes. I try to create some havoc. I'm opening the c file, I'm trying to push, but useless. And actually here is the only chance in the game, and he missed it, which is e5. The idea here is to capture the g6 pawn. I entirely missed that, but this is not actually that big a deal, because I think just queen here works. After takes, this position is still close to a draw. We've got the bishop pair, even though the king is a bit not feeling very comfortable, it's still okay. Now after queen d3, rook a e8, queen d6, takes. This is just a dead draw. I've got the bishop pair. After exchanging it, I brought my bishop back, and we agreed to a draw. So that's basically all the games today. Game 2 or Game 6 overall is just really painful. But apart from that, Game 1 was enjoyable, quick win. Game 3 was one of the best games I've ever played. Really enjoyable. Game 4 is just very boring. Half a point, I'll take it. Tomorrow, one game left, I might make a recap video, or perhaps if the game is really boring, I would just post it in posts. Yeah, posts. And then I will tell you guys the result, just to keep you guys tuned in. So, yeah, see you tomorrow, and hope you good luck in the tournament further. I hope I get 6 points minimum tomorrow. So, yeah, see you perhaps tomorrow, perhaps later. Enjoy chess, and peace until next time. Bye.